Hi, I'm Mohammed and welcome to Grammarall. As you all know, today we're going to look at X-bar theory, a theory of syntax and constituent structure. I've made minimal assumptions about your familiarity with traditional grammar. Nevertheless, I'm assuming that you have a fair knowledge of syntactic analysis and phrase structure rules. Consider this sentence. He likes this beautiful student of law with green eyes. Phrase structure rules tell us that this sentence consists of a noun phrase in the green box he and a verb phrase in the pink box likes this beautiful student of law with green eyes. In turn, the verb phrase consists of a verb in the green box likes, which is the head of the verb phrase, and an embedded noun phrase in the pink box, this beautiful student of law with green eyes. Finally, the noun phrase consists of a determiner in the green box, this, an adjective in the pink box, beautiful, a noun in the white box, student, it is the head of the noun phrase, a preposition phrase in the red box of law, and another preposition phrase with green eyes. The different constituents of the sentence are shown in this tree diagram. Let's focus on the noun phrase, which is highlighted in light gray, and make a list of its constituents. We see a determiner, this, an adjective phrase, beautiful, a noun, student, a preposition phrase of law, a preposition of, a noun phrase, law, a preposition phrase with green eyes, a preposition with, a noun phrase, green eyes, adjective phrase, green, and finally a noun, eyes. As it stands, it looks like this structure doesn't show all the constituents. Why? Because the sequence of words student of law with green eyes is a constituent, but there's no one node that contains all and only the same sequence of words. But is it really a constituent? In order to substantiate our claim, we'll perform a substitution test. According to this constituency test, two or more words form a syntactic constituent if they can be replaced by a single word. Let's replace it by one. Yes, it works, and the sentence remains grammatical and retains its original meaning. The new syntactic structure tree will look like this, after adding a new intermediate node and assigning the label n-bar to it. Moreover, the new node n-bar contains only our new constituent, student of law with green eyes. The original bar was an overbar or overline drawn above the text, and it looked like this. But because it is difficult to type, this is often typed as this. Student of law is another constituent that is not shown in this structure. But is it really a constituent? A simple constituency test will support this. It is a constituent since we can replace it by 1. The new syntactic structure tree will look like this after adding a new intermediate node and assigning the label n-bar to it. Furthermore, the new node n-bar contains only our new constituent, student of law. Beautiful student of law with green eyes is another constituent that is not shown in this structure. But is it really a constituent? A simple constituency test will support this. It is a constituent since we can replace it by 1. The new syntactic structure tree will look like this after adding a new intermediate node and assigning the label n-bar to it. Moreover, the new node n-bar contains only our new constituent, beautiful student of law with green eyes. This leads me to my next point. A side-by-side view of the old and new trees shows how the flat structure on the left is clearly inadequate. This seems to me to be a compelling argument to move away from the old structure. The old phrase structure rules can be represented by this tree diagram with which I assume you're familiar. The new X-bar rules are represented by this tree, where syntactic categories are color-coded for easy identification. The noun phrase in white consists of a determiner, this, and an N-bar phrase in green. The N-bar phrase in green consists of an adjective, beautiful, and an N-bar phrase in pink. The N-bar phrase in pink consists of an M-bar phrase in yellow and a preposition phrase with green eyes. The N-bar phrase in yellow consists of a noun, student, which is the head of the noun phrase, and a preposition phrase of law. A basic structure will allow for more clarity. Let's now replace the syntactic categories by their syntactic functions. The determiner serves as a specifier. The preposition phrase on the same level as the head serves as a complement. The adjective and the other preposition phrase serve as adjuncts. In theory, at least, we can stack a myriad of adjuncts. In fact, the number of adjuncts is unlimited, but only one complement is allowed, so a single adjunct will suffice. To give an illustration of what I mean, this is a more basic structure with one adjunct. The specifier is a daughter of NP and a sister to N-bar. The adjunct is both a daughter and a sister of N-bar. The complement is a daughter of N-bar and a sister to the head, which is the noun. Let's look at the other differences between a complement and an adjunct. The complement phrase is always closer to the head noun, and it must precede the adjunct phrase. The complement in pink, of law, precedes the adjunct in yellow with green eyes. Complements and adjuncts will tend not to swap places, as can be seen from the ungrammaticality of the phrase, the student with green eyes of law. So a complement cannot be reordered with an adjunct. What's more, this isn't the only evidence that supports this hypothesis. If we can reorder the two preposition phrases in the sentence, the girl with long hair in the bus, to be the girl in the bus with long hair, while grammaticality is maintained, we can say that both preposition phrases are adjuncts. It's not possible to coordinate a complement with an adjunct. We cannot say a student of law and with green eyes. It's simply ungrammatical. While we can say a student of law and of politics, a student with long hair and with green eyes. This leads me to my next point, which is the subject of our video, the X-bar theory. Syntacticians say this model is not restricted to NPs and can be applied to all types of phrases. Other syntacticians argue that it can be applied to all languages in the world. Since all types of phrases share the same common denominator, which is the structure you see now, we will replace n by x. X here is a variable that stands for the actual lexical category, which can be a V for a verb phrase or a P for a preposition phrase, and so on. The noun phrase is not the quintessential X-bar phrase. I could have started with a verb phrase, which we'll be looking at now. She quickly had lunch with Zach. We have a verb phrase here, quickly had lunch with Zach. As you can see, the head of the verb phrase is the verb had. The specifier here is the adverb quickly, which modifies the head. The adjunct is the preposition phrase with Zach. The complement is the noun and the object lunch. He is quite fond of her in a way. We have an adjective phrase here, quite fond of her in a way, where the head of the adjective phrase is the adjective fond. The specifier here is the adverb quite, which modifies the adjective fond. The adjunct is the preposition phrase in a way, and the complement is the preposition phrase of her. He's completely at odds with her. We have a preposition phrase completely at odds with her. The head of the preposition phrase is the preposition at. The specifier here is the adverb completely. The adjunct is the preposition phrase with her, and the complement is odds. All things considered, it seems reasonable to assume that it could be a matter of time before grammar allows only the X-bar structure.